All right, let's dive on into some games, huh? So this is a build-around submission that was specifically asked for, can I try and do something with the KDA card out of the way? So 5 mana slow card here. For the rest of the game, all allied buffs except for barrier become permanent, and then you draw a card. So I've seen other builds of this before that have been less than successful, and one thing almost every out of the way build that I have seen has tried to do is they've almost all tried to play Tarek. And Tarek is a card that we've talked about in a lot of other videos. He's weak for a variety of reasons, and I think that trying to make a card like this that's off meta because it's a little bit tough to work with other cards that are also kind of on the weak side is a bad way to approach it. So what I've tried to do here is I've tried to pair out of the way with a bunch of just generically good Runeterra cards that all see play in other decks so that way, when we don't draw out of the way, our deck's still at a pretty reasonable power level. So, Shyvana was a champion that jumped out at me as kind of a sweet card to pair with out of the way, because Shyvana's base level says, give me 1/1 this round every time she attacks, and her leveled mode says, give me 2/2 for this round every time she attacks. So, basically, if we have out of the way cast, and then we have Shyvana, she gets bigger permanently every time she attacks, which is sweet. So I've got that kind of typical Demacia Shyvana Screeching Dragon package, along with a couple of Dragon's Clutches here to draw 2 different dragons. So I've leveraged this package before in Targon Demacia decks. So with Shyvana and Screeching Dragon being the only 2 dragons in my deck, Dragon's Clutches is guaranteed to draw both of those when we play it. I've also got some Egghead Researcher at the bottom end of our curve, and then Sharp Sight is probably one of the best combat tricks in the game. And this is another card that works with out of the way because it just is a temporary bonus normally, but this can gain it permanently now. The one card in my deck that's a little bit on the weak side, but does see play in some constructed decks is Vanguard Sergeant here. This is a 3/3 for 3, which is like a fine stat line. It can block fearsome units, which is important in the current metagame. And notably, it creates a 4 Demacia, and 4 Demacia is really sweet with out of the way because it gives your stuff just +3/+3 permanently. The rest of the Targon pairing in this deck is I've got Diana here, who can gain Challenger permanently with out of the way. And then also her leveled mode can get +2 attack permanently with out of the way. So we've got some Shade Stalkers and some Pale Cascades as some other Nightfall things. Pale Cascade, obviously good with out of the way as well. And then at the top end of our curve, I even have a cheeky Cygnus who can permanently give itself and something else elusive. So I think the core idea of what we have here seems reasonable. I'm interested to see if it is functional in practice or if it ends up just being a little bit too clunky still. Triple D, thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. Yeah, this is a build around for the KDA out of the way card. It seemed only fitting that we used the KDA board. Hecarim Elise. Okay, I'm gonna mulligan the Cygnus. Basically, never want that in the opener. Slayer Shield Bearer is probably fine against the Elise deck. They play Elise on 2, we get to slam the Shield Bearer. We're attacking on evens, attacking on odds, which makes Shyvana a little bit worse, but I think we're still keeping her. We keep the Sharp Sight too, just a good combat trick. So, opponent's archetype could be a brew, could also be similar to, there was a Hecarim Elise deck that top 32 to the NA regional. It was similar to Fearsome, but had Hecarim with a little bit of a bigger top end in the late game to have higher individual quality cards. Morning, Mike. I think our opponent might have disconnected here, which is unfortunate for our first game. It's fine. Get plenty more in. Morning, Goonie Bones. Our deck is clearly busted. We told our opponent to get out of the way and they disconnected. Opponent is there. How can you tell? Are we gonna try and hit Master for the season resets? Nah. If you're new to the channel, we mostly play viewer-submitted decks here on this channel, which sometimes we get to Master, sometimes we don't. I'm not super worried about it. The best piece of advice I could give you when it comes to playing card games is do not attach your self-worth to your ability to produce results in card games. You'll be much happier without it. Zoe needs a buff, maybe. We'll see.
My faith protects me.
She's not out yet. Card literally card hasn't released yet. Needs a buff.
You'll serve me one way or another. Smooth as silk. Dragon blood, Demacian heart.
Why is Shyvana in this deck? Because when she attacks, she gets +1/+1 permanently.
I cannot turn
Like so.
face your heretic.
I don't know. I think a lot of people are going to underappreciate Zoe as a thieving magpie. Alright, here's my number one piece of advice when you come into my stream. If you're gonna ask about a card in my deck, please at least do me the decency of, like, looking at the deck list before you start asking questions. I love explaining things to people, and I love helping people learn, but, like, if I'm gonna spend my time helping you, at least do the decency, do me the decent thing of respecting my time and not asking questions that you could easily answer by just, like, looking at the deck list. I think I want to hold up Sharp Sight here, actually, rather than play Egghead out. Maybe that's wrong. Am I dead? They have Challenger on a bunch of their things. They only have Challenger on the spiders, right? Yeah, and honestly, even looking back on my review yesterday, I think my review yesterday was too harsh on Zoe.
Do not test my patience.
You will not prevail.
J-Dubs, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Yes, the shimmer on my cards means they've been given a temporary modifier that's been made permanent by out of the way. That's exactly what that shimmer means. So this, for example, is permanently Challenger. They have a deal 1. Yeah, maybe I should have played around that with Sharp Sight. Yeah, I agree. So the way you're gonna want to think about Zoe is think about Zoe like we long thought about Twisted Fate, in that Twisted Fate was just a card that generates value that incidentally leveled up sometimes.
Scorching light.
They actually don't want to attack this in, because I don't want to trade this for a non-fear, so I'm just going to attack here. Like, you should play Zoe as a cheap, evasive threat that draws you cards, and view it as a, if this levels up, it's upside, it's not the reason we're playing it.
I have the scars to prove it. Light flickers.
Maybe I should have played this last turn. Probably going to try and set up to 4 Demacia next turn. Thanks, Wanderer. I'm super excited at the opportunity. Should be a lot of fun. Going to 3 here might be wrong. They could be an atrocity deck.
A little time, I'll have a break.
So I'm going to go up to 9 plus 3. I'll have 12 mana next turn. So I can say, okay, Screeching Dragon, and then 4 Demacia. Yeah, I could have blocked in a way that didn't leave me dead to Atrocity last turn, I think. With the Hush. I also could have played this out of turn sooner, potentially. Hey, Dirty Digits, thank you for the biddies. Grow, my pretties, grow. Yeah, I think our opponent was AFK in the first few turns this game. I think.
Burn away doubt.
Everything can block Fearsome now, yep. The particle effect on my unit is because I've played out of the way this game. And out of the way says all of my units for the rest of the game keep any temporary modifiers permanently. So that 4 Demacia I played this turn is going to keep these pumped up permanently when normally it's only till end of turn. Okay, you're harrowing. I have another blocker. So you get to challenge and kill some of my larger Dorkos here, but we're still in a fine spot. We have to block everything here, obviously. Why would I take Challenger off one of their guys, Ghost Stalker? I have to block their whole border. I'm dead. So what incentive do I have to Hush? All their things are lethal.
We were peaceful once.
Yeah, the dragon was dying no matter what it blocked, so. Got to at least set up and do the thing to start. Think we mulligan Duskbringer against the Go Hard deck.
I know what lurks in the shadows. Clad in shining sunlight.
Persuading Thresh sounds good, Lampton. Go ahead and drop the goat here and get in with that, I think. You doing card name and text reviews before the big day? I'm not sure I understand your question.
Again. Go on then.
Devotion through battle.
Wait a minute.
I mean, I play a lot of Runeterra, so like I know what cards are called, generally speaking. I'd assume that's part of the reason why they wanted to hire me, because I play their game. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping for / expecting a nerf to pack your bags before the next patch. Blocking elusive permanent for out of the way too. Yeah, it should be.
Like a fish in water.
I'm something of an aspiring trichologist.
Are you sure I'm gonna use this sharp sight to murder this zap?
How bothersome.
No one is hiring me because of what my face looks like. That's definitely on the list of things you could want to hire me for. That one is definitely towards the bottom.
You must have some unique insight into dragons.
Most are cruel, vicious, and deadly. Break them.
Oh, right. This isn't a challenger yet.
Run while you can.
Hey, good luck and Godspeed, BZ. As someone who recently did something of a career change himself, I feel for you. Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and gem this so it doesn't die to...
They forced us to choose.
So it doesn't die to another deal one. Do I know the country of the participants? I have a player fact sheet that lists that stuff on it somewhere.
We playing bilge rules, son?
Yeah, and this is the tough part now, like, and this is the thing that makes their deck so good. The threat of pack your bags coming off the top of their deck is enough to make me hesitant to commit more to the board.
Suffer my fury.
You got legs. Use them.
I will host the official Riot channel on my channel as well, but I will be casting on their channel directly. So twitch.tv/Riot. We're starting about noon PST, 2 o'clock Central tomorrow. Okay, there's that. Hey, Becker X, thanks for 11 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back.
Stink of blood and sweat. Get to work.
Assume they're opening attacks here.
If I kill you, I don't
They're not opening attacks. That's good for us. Okay, so we go Dusk Petal into Eclipse Dragon here. You have one card in hand, opponent. Deal? Yeah, like that exchange is like really good for us.
say your farewells. No!
By the moon's crescent blade. No more lies.
I don't change fate, but I can see it.
But I can see it. I mean, it was like a fine open. I would have chumped the Gangplank and then killed it with this. They would have put me down like 3 or 4 more points of life AK, so like, they'd still be in a pretty terrible spot.
Dragons, such fascinating creatures.
Playing this out as opposed to this to play around second copy of Ruination. This is a second go hard.
Cloaked in silver. Find your path in the dark and follow no false light.
Don't want to see there. So they're dead through a vengeance here. That's right, we beefed up this one instead of one of the bigger ones.
The words of the heretic rang true.
Fiora Shen. Pale Cascade sounds great here, especially with the Dust Spray to enable it. It seems fine. Pick up.
These woods protect their own.
Block. Easy open attacks here before they can play out a 3-2 and make my attack bad. 3-2 barrier here and I wouldn't be able to get in. Trash Panda, thanks for the 3rd of year. I appreciate that. Good morning. Welcome back.
Intruders!
You leave me no.
I would be super happy to trade my 2-1 for a barrier spell here. Yes. Deal.
Nature blesses
You
her
have, that is, yes.
Nature blesses her followers.
It is positively otherworldly.
Their hand must be super awkward for that to be a play they're willing to make.
My shield is yours.
Nature blesses her followers.
This is a good draw. It means I can go this into this now, which is lovely.
Spirits falls to me.
The question is, the way they use that first riposte aggressively could imply that they have another here.
Nature blesses her followers.
Meet them head on.
So we're going to try this, but I would not be surprised if they save Shen here. Yep. We just kind of got to work through those, though. Not a whole ton we can do about
Nature
that.
blesses her followers.
I think I'm just banking spell mana this turn. I'm going to go up to 6 total mana next turn. Maybe I am into playing Shadestalker. Yeah, I'll play Shadestalker. Gosh, we're so close to lethal with this. I think I gotta try and control their board though. Get her in here and try and eat this. That's unfortunate. Takes up their whole turn though, so that's nice.
Invisible to the ignorant.
Zenith Blade on Swain is sweet. I agree. That's probably my favorite deck in this format right now. The Sunny Swain deck.
The more we learn, the less we fear.
The more we learn, the less we fear. So smart egghead researcher. A scientist like you.
Age of Dragons is begun. There are more like you? So I go.
Nature blesses her followers.
Gone.
So with this, I Pale Cascade here and then these trade.
Nature blesses her followers. Others.
could try and push lethal. I could push lethal and Diana something. I think that's the play. So I think we go Diana. She plays out leveled. And then we play Cygnus, which will trigger Nightfall on leveled Diana.
Find your own light within the darkness.
And give her extra attack. And we'll elusive this and this. And try and kill them with these three while also interacting with this.
The Solari brought this bloodshed upon themselves.
This war is old as Solari and Lunari alike.
And I get to hook Shen here.
Will be heard.
Yeah, so they have to not die to these, and even if they not die to here, their Shen probably dies.
We speak, and they will hear us.
I like when a brew works out in practice, as well as it did in theory. Yeah, I'd expect we'll see card spoilers in half an hour like we usually do. And like we have every other day, we'll take a peek at them on stream. To be fair, in my 20-minute highlight videos, our win rate is almost always 100%. If you're gonna run this in Masters Salamander, I think, and I'm gonna mention this in the wrap-up, but I think there's a good chance that 3 out of the way is too many, because you probably don't ever want to draw multiple, and you can win without it. From a pure competitive perspective, I think you probably want some of them. I would probably split out of the way with Cygnus 2 and 2. I think is going to be my recommendation at the end. This is a build-around deck trying to do a thing in part, so I'm playing 3 of them today. But I think from if you want to like try and make this competitive, I would split that top end 2-2. Draven Ezreal. Dragon's Clutch is actually great here. Drawing 2 is good against their deck. I'm gonna mulligan Diana. She just like dies to Mystic Shot and stuff like that. Not bad, trick's decent. Alright, this is my goat. Do you have Mystic Shot? Ooh, okay, now I'm just gonna pass. So with this draw, I'm just gonna do this on 3.
Don't blink or you'll miss me.
Now I need to do this, right?
A Demacian soldier is worth 10 foes.
Nah, I think I can wait a turn on this and just eat their Israel here. I guess let this happen. And now I just take 1.
Watch and learn. Gotcha.
Next turn I'm gonna have 7 mana, so I can go. Yeah, like getting a beam used on my thing that made a 4 Demacia sounds great. It's not like their Israel's killing anything else this turn. Meh. Beam me, baby. Culling strike, sure. I think you're just supposed to pass there and burn a mana. I don't know, I don't really want to give them a free open Ezreal attack.
One shot, all skill. Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Clad in shining sunlight.
My 2 mana 3/6. Your move, Yugi boy.
Firing.
Just gonna bank spell mana here, I think. We'll bank 3, and then next year we can goat plus Shyvana. This is fine. Sixth Prophet, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
I serve my people with pride.
Oh, we did put them on second beam, right? That's fine if they want to spend 6 mana to kill this, though, right?
Check me out.
Suffer my fury.
It is an early Ezreal level. You're not wrong. We're still at 18 though, so we should be in an okay-ish spot.
I am more than I seem.
Yeah, I think that's really bad into Flock lamped in.
I don't miss.
This is your end.
Is I can block a loose as a permanent buff. I believe so. This isn't really a blowout, because, like, they get to Noxie and Guillotine this, so, like, my opponent's in a fine spot here. Like, their Guillotine 3-for-1 does. Like, I have to kill Ezreal here, but they're getting a 3-for-1 on this Guillotine. No, I want to hush to kill their Ezreal there, Time Lord. I'm aware that we can hush my own thing to pull damage off it if its health total is low enough. That's fine. We have our third Shyvana with this. If they have, what's it called here? If they have Captain Pharaon, we're going to be in trouble.
The dragons.
Most are cruel, vicious.
If we can fade Pharaon for a turn or two, we could be okay.
The party has arrived. What a specimen.
Pretty fine with her dying at this point. I've got plenty of value rolled up in my hand. So if they want to, like, trade Draven plus a Mystic Shot for her, that's fine. Yeah, I agree, Lace. They could probably trim 1 to 2 decimates off of Captain Pharaon and it's still super playable.
Never keep a dragon waiting.
Probably 1. At only 1 decimate, it's probably not good enough. And hey, look, they have the Ravenous block I was playing around earlier. No, just a Thermo Beam? Weird. Wait, why would they? That doesn't make any sense, right? They could have just beamed it for the full damage post-combat. Weird.
Watch and learn. Breathtaking.
No, he was reworked from transform your hand into decimates. So previously he made all the cards you already had into decimates. It's actually a pretty good draw.
Discipline and steel.
I see where that was nerfed. That sounds silly. No, it was actually a buff. The card was much worse when it turned your existing cards into decimates. It was much, much worse. It means you couldn't just slam it on 8 a lot of the time. If you weren't guaranteed to kill them, you couldn't play it out. Yeah, and if you had no cards in hand, he did nothing. He's much, much better with the change.
My patience wanes.
Alright, that should mean we have lethal, right?
With a little time, I'll
Play this out to play around Ravenous Flock.
follow where I can.
Face your heretic.
So I wanna have lethal without this one in case it gets blocked, because that's their out. Yes! Sick. When a good read pays off. Ask yourself, what card beats us? Can we play around it? If yes, do so. One 100% win rate out of the way. It actually seems pretty good, huh? We go this on 2, this on 3, and then some number of these other things on 4 and 5.
Death or the blade.
It's our time.
Morning, Hamblin. I'm excited for coverage tomorrow, too. The new Demacia landmark, sure. Yeah, the new Demacia landmark is real sweet in here. We're gonna take a couple of small hits here. If you haven't seen by Draven, that means you're not watching all of the highlights on my highlights YouTube channel. Vi Draven is very sweet. It's a more aggressive take on Ezreal Draven. I'd encourage you to give it a check out after we're done streaming today. Them not having another play here is real good for us.
Unyielding light.
It could be right. I kind of wanted to fit a third copy of Shield Bearer in here, but I just didn't have space. The build we played did not play Tri-Beam. Huh. So they just passed there, so I'm definitely burning their mana. Easiest burn of my life.
Fire.
Let's get Shyvana leveling here.
Me.
Like, I've got... My deck plays a ton of combat tricks, so, like, banking some mana here is not a big deal. Because the deck isn't playing a ton of cards that guarantee extra damage on things. Late Electra. It's basically just playing a variety of pieces of removal. Well, that's rude. Denied me my Shyvana hit. Yeah, block enablers is the big difference. If I recall correctly, that build notably was not playing like Stun Spider. Yeah, kind of. They give you a lot less control over it though.
I tried. Eat this.
Yes. Yeah, it could be. This could be better. I don't know. Goat's just a good card in general too. So they're gonna let the level Draven here. I can put this up to 8 toughness, but then it still just dies to quick attack, so no reason to do that. So we just say okay in these trade-off. Diana's gonna get to eat this next turn though. It is going to level, yeah.
What's my name?
Dragon
So let's go Shyvana into Diana, into Pale Cascade Diana, Hook Draven, and then I have Sharp Sight up as a little bit of extra interaction past that. And remember, we're out of the Wade, so she's going to have Challenger permanently.
cold and unforgiving as moonlight. Suffer my fury.
I will be heard. Moonlight guide me.
Even if they have a Whirling Death here, I can save this from Whirling Death to kill this. Diana keeping Challenger permanently is kind of sick too. Even without the buff, just like a 2/2 quick attack Challenger is so good.
My faith protects me.
Crush 'em to dust.
They don't even have good attacks here, right? Like I block with this, then I quick attack to kill this the following turn? There's a good chance we just kill them with opens next turn. We're gonna go this.
No more talk.
Oh, heretic.
Meh.
Light flashes.
They aren't quite dead. This is 6. No, it's exactly 12, right? Because it says 6 and these are 6. Oh, I'm supposed to just open attacks, right? I'm not supposed to Vanguard Sergeant and 4 Demacia. We're supposed to just open attacks. As hot as that is. Nah, pretty sure staring down 3 decimates I'm supposed to do this. My mind is telling me no, but my body is saying yes, right? We're here to do the thing, not to win. Yeah, probably. Having 6 plus 2 attack combat tricks is pretty great too. Got him by this much.
We speak, and they will hear us.
Here needs Zenith Blade. You type !point deck in chat to get a direct link to the deck list. Always try and keep that up to date for folks that are new here. You can also get it on the overlay on the desktop. Alright, another go hard deck. Yeah, no play on 4 was brutal. And then you drew the Drape in the following turn, I'm assuming? It's like 1 turn late. Did we really win if we didn't cast 4 Demacia there? I think I'm keeping all of these. I think this is an out of the way on 3 hand. We have out of the way on 3 into Shield Bearer Diana on 4.
If I kill you, I don't fortunes.
We'll see what they do here. If they develop before attacking, I'm probably gonna Shield Bearer. Yeah, I think with that play, I'm obligated to do this. I don't think I could just take a hit for 7 here. Take a hit for 5, kill this, seems fine. Because then next turn I'm still gonna be able to, I'll have 7 mana total next turn, so I can out of the way into Diana.
Ye started without me.
Never lost a fair game. Like eyes open.
That seemed really greedy. They didn't gold card us. Would Sithra be too slow for this deck? I'd really encourage you to read the channel rules when you enter a channel on Twitch. On my particular channel, they include how to offer up card suggestions. See, second out of the way really sucks. I think there's a chance we're only supposed to be playing 2 of this card. The rules command is old, and we'll delete that. When I say rules, I mean the thing you click past on Twitch when you enter a channel.
Meet destiny. Our light grows brighter.
Or did I just play Diana's Pale Cascade? No, it's a regular one. We're into 7 here. There's a good chance our opponent's aggressive start means we're not going to be able to beat back your bags when it comes down to bit.
always up for a round or two.
Cloaked in silver light.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and attack right away then here before I play anything else out, because I don't want them to be able to drain this for one before I kill their Twisted Fate. My deck notably lacks ways to gain life though, like I've mentioned, so there's a good chance we get burned out from this position. There's just not room to fit things like Guiding Touch and Star Shaping in here with all of our pump spells. Is it not worth gemming? Dang it. No, my opponent's board is so wide, I think I'm definitely better off trying to go wide to match as well. My opponent hadn't played a go hard so far yet that game, so they had to draw one. While the first go hard happening there feels bad, I think I'm much more likely to lose this game to getting burned out than I am to go hard at this point, or getting aggroed out, so I need to just commit as many things as possible to the board.
Darkness hides in my path.
No, there just really isn't room for life gain stuff in here, I don't think. Maybe that's fine. I don't know. I guess that kind of works with out of the way. I have to look and see what we could cut. That might be fine. You could technically go Egghead, Eclipse Dragon, Golden Sister. Yeah, that's technically a sequence.
Holy might, I have the scars to prove it.
What's the new Lifesteal Daybreak? It's a 5/4 for 4 that on Daybreak it gets Lifesteal till end of turn. Target guard.
We playing bilge rules, son?
Night flowers upon my blade.
I forgot to attack with the elusive. Yeah, I'm just clicking chat. I didn't make the good play because I'm reading chat and clicking at the same time. Gosh, Stalking Shadow seems really greedy in their deck. Yeah, super dead to pack your bags here.
I will be free.
You must have some unique insight into dragons.
Most are cruel, vicious, and deadly.
This card really should not be able to draw. Pack your bags. That would be the nerf I would like to see on this card. This card being able to draw. This card costing 1 mana is really offensive. Thoroughly packed. Yep. Yeah, gosh, I wonder what they cut. Yeah, I'd like to see it nerfed to 4. I'd like to see it at least cost 4 mana. I think you could argue pack your bag should cost as much as 5, and it would still be playable and good. It should be at least 4, I think. Timo Sajani. Do I want to cut a copy out of the way? Nah, I want to play it. This deck's trying to do the thing. At the end of the wrap up, I'm going to mention that you should probably cut it, but I want to just cast out of your way as much as possible. Get a feel for what it is. Now, I think reducing the cost of that card to 3 doesn't meaningfully change it. I think if you allow that card to be playable via only spell mana, it's not a meaningful nerf. There's a huge difference between there's a huge difference in Runeterra between 3 mana and between 3 mana and 4 mana for that reason.
Her flowers bring the moonlight with them. Another moon veiled. Who's a good boy?
Sure, yeah, that's like costing 5 to deal 5. Yep,
They forced
it's
us
good symmetry. I like that commentary. So Diana's gonna get to hook her a Teemo here.
Find your own light within the darkness.
Yours is a light I cherish, moon sister.
I will be heard.
We have to get our Godon next turn. And then we'll have pretty decent attacks with the Pale Cascade the following turn. Nice. Dubs Pale Cascade with Dust Petal to enable.
I got ways to find me mushrooms.
It's my goat. Meh.
I cannot turn back.
Du-du-du. Yes, that is also a fine rebalance. Let it not deal damage to your opponent's dome.
Excuse you.
Temperamental as moonlight. We will be free.
As a mark of honor. Yeah, it's just a mark of it's a boomer card game.
Am I right?
Why didn't they block Diana? Because they probably assumed I had a combat trick, and if I had a combat trick, they wanted to trade. Which seems fine. So, nopifying pack your bags, generally speaking, isn't very good. The thing you want to nopify by the time your opponent has pack your bags, they generally have multiple copies of it with how many cards they're drawing. Yeah, the second one is still pack your bags. So if I double gem here, I could trade this for this, but I probably don't really want to double gem with my elusive here. I think I just let this die. I'm gonna pass and see what they hook this with first.
Born for
I might not hook it with this, that might be greedy. Huh? That's probably not super useful at this point.
Will they fight? I have the scars to prove it.
Not and ready.
It's annoying.
illness by moonlight. The moon is our queen. The night, her kingdom.
Nah, I think that's a pretty kind of medium change, M-Chuck, that basically wouldn't have an impact on the card in a majority of games that play out. So I think that change would be kind of silly. I think in practice what that would actually change is basically nothing.
Face your heretic.
Yeah. I think intuitively that doesn't make a lot of sense. I think that's a recommendation that got recommended by someone that plays Magic the Gathering because they want the game to work like Magic the Gathering works. But I think that aspect of Magic the Gathering kind of sucks and is super unintuitive to new players. And I'm glad Runeterra doesn't fizzle spells that lose their targets. Yeah, the idea of the opponent's deck is Puff Caps level Sejani, and then Puff Caps, once Sejani is leveled, make my team not have power every turn.
Stand and fight.
I think if they open attacks here, we Sharp Sight and block.
Not the egg.
Could see like Troll Chant here blow out some of our combats. I should have put the goat here. Technically, it's better against Troll Chant. Wow, that just happened. Okay, deal. I'm gonna go ahead and gem this because I don't want it to die to a Get Excited. LOR has both. LOR has... What is an example other than Vile Feast where a spell losing its target counters it? Can you give me an example? Because Vile Feast is the only one I've got. Do X to do Y communicates that very clearly. Yeah, I agree. Glimpse. Sure. Glimpse is another do X to do Y though, right? Yeah, Atrocity are X to do Y. Now Guillotine's an if then. Guillotine still makes a fleeting card if it loses its target, right? Does Guillotine not make a oh, kill a damage unit to create? Sure. But I mean, like, even reading that, I read it and I immediately know. I also think, again, that that's a silly change because it doesn't meaningfully change the power level of the card.
There they go.
I think making removal marginally better against Go Hard doesn't fundamentally change the card and how it works. Doesn't make it meaningfully worse.
Dragons, such fascinating creatures.
Roll, my warriors.
People that are listing cards like Reckoning, you don't actually understand what we're talking about. Reckoning doesn't apply.
You must have some unique insight into dragons.
Most are cruel, vicious, and deadly. Suffer my fury.
Opponent's deck is like Greed Incarnate here.
I'm a peddler, not a meddler.
Let's not ruffle our feathers. This will be a good winter.
There are none like me.
Hush was a good pickup. Yep. Means he can potentially kill this. Sejani.
Pain is nothing.
Do I deploy a threat or do I for Demacia? If I for Demacia, I have pretty good open attacks next turn. So I could for Demacia and then hush their Sejani when it hooks my thing. And remember, we played out of the way, so this will be a permanent buff. So my things will still be 6s going into next turn. Yeah, Demacia means my Shyvana lives, which is a big deal.
Bristle, attack!
The record doesn't matter, chat. The record doesn't matter when our record is good. The record doesn't matter when our record is bad. Alright, we need to dodge a mushroom next turn. Come on. 16 pup caps, 22 cards. Dodge, 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 dodge. Damn it. So the reason we needed the dodge there is because now Mystic Shot wipes the attack off our team. I think I just have to open attacks, right? And just hope they don't have Mystic Shot. I think that's the play. And then if they have Mystic Shot or something to wipe our attack off, we Mind Splinter this so it can't kill us next turn. And this is why we needed to not draw a mushroom. Please play a threat. They're getting a level 2 champion every turn, so like... Oof. Okay, I mean that's a pretty okay draw.
Order, entropy, a never-ending cycle.
Never-ending cycle.
You and I have met before, haven't we?
Is a leaf's only purpose to fall?
Why, just 1.21 gigahexes.
I will break
Okay, so now we're hoping this is lethal.
This is one for the record books.
You can't hustle Johnny to avoid the freeze. It just happens at the start of your turn. So yeah, so Johnny's only the first time per turn, chat. So I don't have to worry about this freezing again. They could technically stun this with this, but they shouldn't have any burst speed way to do that. So if they like go to deal damage to my face to stun this, I can hush him in response. Yeah, so if they have Mystic Shot or something here, I can go ahead.
Who goes there?
Yeah, and if they frostbite us, we can hush this to restore its attack power and it won't be blocked.
An auspicious season.
I says they're dead. Click OK. Oh wait, did we not get spoilers today? Oh, we did. So, I'm not gonna go over these again. So, these spoilers, I'll play through them really quick for people that don't want to leave the stream. These spoilers got leaked yesterday on one of the other accounts. So if you want my full thoughts on the playability of these cards, I'm going to go ahead and play through them and show them on stream here real quick for folks. Go to my YouTube channel. We reviewed these in my card previews yesterday. So we talked about all of these. It was a longer video yesterday, so the text translations on all of these was accurate that we had in the video yesterday. So if you want full thoughts on these, I posted daily spoiler content on my YouTube channel here, has Victor and Zoe thoughts on all the other cards that have been previewed, so check that out. Also post daily deck highlight videos there if you're not already subbed to that second channel that I put up on YouTube. Getting back into card games, I stumbled onto Runeterra. It seems like a lot of fun. What would my personal recommendation for a person that loves value, mid-range, and control decks in other games? My favorite, well, the arguably the best deck in the format right now is Twisted Fate Go Hard. So if you're a best deck kind of person, I think that would be a good fit for the type of decks you just said you like to play. Feel the Rush Ramp Control is also a good control deck in the format. If you're looking for something a little bit offbeat, I have various decks up on my website, sorted by archetype, aggro, mid-range, and control. There's current deck lists, as well as videos of me playing highlights of them, so you can kind of check out how they play before you decide to commit to one. Yeah, there's a ton of good mid-range decks and stuff like that out there. Yeah, they're a control deck. I think we're just gonna keep this, and we're just like turn 3 out of the way. Yeah, mid-range is probably the most common archetype in Runeterra, so there's a lot of good choices. Does Runeterra have resource refunds when they nerf cards? They do not, Y-Sticks, and there's two reasons for that. The first is cards aren't really expensive to begin with in Runeterra, and it's pretty easy to get most of them. And second is Runeterra doesn't nerf cards or decks in a way that makes them unplayable. The only time in the 6 months I've been playing Runeterra, the only time a deck has been rendered unplayable by a nerf is when a deck wasn't very good to begin with. So sometimes, like, fringe off-meta decks take collateral damage from a tier 1 or tier 2 deck getting nerfed. But basically, the tiered decks they've never been rendered unplayable by a nerf. Meh. Yeah, Ezreal is a lot of fun. Actually, one of my favorite decks in the format right now is an Ezreal deck. Ezreal Go Hard up on my website is phenomenal. It's a lot of fun. Burn got nerfed out of the meta. Oh, you mean like the Harrowing Darius deck? I don't actually think that deck was very good. I would, and that's subjective. But I don't think that deck was very powerful when it I think that was a good example of a deck that got nerfed because it felt bad to play against, more so than for pure power level perspectives.
Our light grows brighter. Night descends.
PNZ Noxious Burn. That predates when I was playing Runeterra. Again, I'm explicitly talking about the last 6 months. I cannot speak to experience that I do not have before that. Permanent Pale Cascade is real good. I agree. Grant me 2/2 once you've played a 6+ cost spell this game. That's cute. I think I'm just playing 2/3 drops this turn. Yeah, I'm playing Shyvana. Let's play
I am
Shyvana.
more than I seem.
My cause is righteous. You have no alibi.
You have no alibi. might be wrong to Pale Cascade here, just because that Pale Cascade was a Diana. While it shuffles a Diana back into my deck, having another champion in hand could be valuable.
Mother Moon veil.
Play this out, and then we have pretty decent open attacks, depending on what they play here post-combat.
I'll write my own story.
Whatever the cost.
Yeah, Demacia are basically like fascist cops, right?
I won't back down.
And reasonable people know fascism and cops tend to not be great, especially in modern society.
Stay safe, Millie.
People that are more familiar with the lore, is that an accurate representation? Whoa. Why'd you say cops twice? All cops are fascists, but not all fascists are cops, okay? It's very possible to be a fascist and not be a cop.
They forced us to choose death or the flame.
Soldiers, me! A Demacian soldier is worth 10 foes!
That's true. You could argue the cop part is redundant. True.
Root them out.
Root them out. I don't think I can go this low.
Oh, hear it.
I think I'm gonna jump block with this because this is gonna die. This is gonna die to a beam even post 4 Demacia anyways.
Stand strong!
Ah, the sweet smell of science. And fire!
And find Jeff's reaction on YouTube. Yeah, I started, Decky, I started a second YouTube channel for just Runeterra stuff. For a long time, I've mostly ignored my YouTube channel. It's just been a dumping ground for stream archives, but I'm trying to spend some time actually growing it into something reasonable. And, looking at what all the big YouTubers do, they all have a second channel for their dedicated game stuff. So, that second channel will be just Runeterra stuff for people that want that, nothing else on their feed.
A beacon through the dark.
It's gonna be tough to, I don't know that we're gonna be able to punch through what they have on board here. Lux and Heimer make a lot of stuff.
What a sheep for sports ball.
Dragon blood, Demacia.
Witcher 3's been great. It's been a lot of fun. That game definitely lives up to, I think I had a real worry going into it that like Witcher wouldn't live up to all of the hype people have put it up to, but I think it definitely has for me. Sager, thank you for the 2/3 of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
Courage,
So like,
soldier.
yeah. So I have some giant idiots, but I don't have a way to interact with this, so our opponent's champion is gonna get to go unchecked and run away with this one, unfortunately. Can find all my spoiler videos in a YouTube playlist here. And that playlist will get updated as we add more spoiler stuff to it. Oh no! They can deny my out of the way, chat. mulligan the sharp sight here. Look for another cheap threat. That's fine. Turn 3, turn 4, turn 5. Turn 6 onward. By the way, for folks who are my regulars and watch during the week, with the new set dropping on Wednesday, I'm going to be doing longer streams Thursday and Friday morning. So I posted my schedule up on Twitter and my website. We'll be doing a 6-hour segment Thursday and Friday morning this week. Good morning, Logan. Thank you for the very generous Tier 3 resub. I appreciate that. Thanks for the half a year. Opponent trying to tell me I'm not allowed to dance. Nah, it doesn't matter, Cody. Whoever's more convenient for you.
Unyielding light.
Bow to your king.
Alright, you got a flash freeze. No flash freeze, no troll champ. Big win for the home team. I think I just want to get Shyvana going here. Remember, she's going to accumulate more and more every time we attack, so getting her attacking sooner and working towards level up is real good. Opponent's got a lot of mana, but isn't quite... Opponent isn't quite at Feel the Rush mana just yet, which is good for us. I think I'm just banking spell mana here with these Vanguard Sergeants in hand. So next turn I'm going to have 7 total mana. So I can do this and this next turn. I guess that's about it. Let's just do this right away and see what we get.
You are unlike anything I've ever seen.
That's not a terrible pickup. Opponent is notably not playing SI, so they cannot ruinate us. That's pretty good, though.
Might not have wings, but they'll fly.
Might not have wings, but they'll fly. It's a good voice line. That's a lot of tempo here.
Dusk approaches.
Guess I want to just play out 2 things here.
Soldiers, me.
Clad in shining sunlight.
Opponent's going to be set up to Feel the Rush next turn. Avalanche seems fine for us. It means I can play this Screeching Dragon out and kill the Mina in combat.
Show them our metal.
And then opponent will have exactly enough to Field Rush next turn. But Trundle is notably not leveled, so he's not going to have Overwhelm even if they have it. So I have 9 total mana here. We're chump blocking Trundle, and then I think we just take 10. Opponent's archetype notably doesn't have Atrocity, so I don't really need to play around that. If they have another Mina, we're probably dead.
My faith protects me.
I think we start here, or we just want to go wide.
Smashing! Meet them head on!
Yeah, I think playing out as much as possible and then giving everything 3/3 is the plan.
Blood, Demacian heart.
Discipline and steel!
Wow, Hush is a good draw too. Do I want to play out a unit here, or do I just 4 Demacia? I think I just 4 Demacia, right? There's a chance we kill them. Depending on what they do. If they have Mina here, we're just gonna die. So, we're hoping for no second Mina. Second 4 Demacia should kill them here then, right? I guess they could have a cheap blocker. Please remember, when you are being critical of my opponent in my chat, I expect you to give them the same courtesy that you give me, which means if you want to be critical of my opponent's play, you need to say why what they did is a mistake. You can't just say plays bad or they threw, or you're gonna get a quick break.
They are nothing.
Be constructive, be helpful.
Try me. You got a problem?
Sick. Dragon's Rage, that's cute. No, they usually don't. And to be fair, a lot of the power of Atrocity comes from being able to play it at quick speed, so I'm not sure that Dragon's Rage really fills that same niche well. Alright, I mean, this deck was really sweet. Some thoughts on it in closing. I mentioned this in some of the games that we played, but while this deck was very good when we had Out of the Way, it's also very reasonable when we don't have Out of the Way, and drawing the second one really kinda sucks. So I think from a pure optimization standpoint, while I started with 3x of these in the deck, I think my final draft would probably be down and Out of the Way, up a Cygnus Moonstalker, just because this has really good closing power in a lot of situations, and it's good with Out of the Way too. Giving things permanently elusive means if you don't kill them the turn you play it, you probably kill them the turn after. Other thoughts for things that could be considered. I'm not confident that my split on 2 drops is exactly correct. this card is just a good card in general that's absurd after you've out of the Wade, so I could see going up to a 3rd Shield Bearer, going down either an Egghead or a Mountain Goat. While I've liked Egghead Researcher in the more grindy games, there's something to be said about having a critical mass of 2 mana, 3 power things in this current format, where Fearsome is a keyword that you care a lot about, so I could see it being correct to, like, cut this and go up a Shield Bearer, just because it's a good card that's also synergizes very well with our Out of the Way. All right, yeah, if you're looking for a deck to play this card in, though, this felt very reasonable and competitive, and this didn't feel like it was extra. It felt like it was genuinely good. Getting to power Shyvana up permanently was reasonable. Getting to put Challenger permanently on Diana was absurd. Like, this card's good when she gets to control one thing on the board, but when she gets to, like, chew into their board every single turn with combat, it's really, really great. And Sharpsight and Pale Cascade are just generically good cards that both felt like they went into overdrive when we got to keep them permanently.